Dear Form 2 students, welcome to Darasa Online. I'm Francis C. Mnyawi. I teach English language. Dear students, our topic today is on talking about past events or activities. And our subtopic is expressing past events. Dear students, let's start with the following questions. What does it mean by past events? How do we state past events? Dear students, before answering these questions, I would like to ask you more questions. Let's see some questions on the screen. These are questions here. Roman 1. What activities did you do in the morning since you woke up? One can say, since I woke up, I cleaned the environment. I prepared tea. I brushed my teeth. Roman 2. At what time did you wake up? I woke up at 7:30 a.m. Or I woke up at 8 a.m. Roman 3. What did you do after school hours? After school hours, I went to play football. We went to see our teacher. I went to visit my uncle. We went to the laboratory, and so on. Roman 4. What did you do last weekend? Someone can say, last weekend, we went to watch football match. Last weekend, we went to the market. Roman 5. What did you do yesterday? Yesterday, I visited my auntie. Yesterday, I went to the market. Yesterday, I played football. Yesterday, we attended the dance. Roman 6. What did you do last month? Last month, I went to my uncle. Last month, I visited my aunt, and other answers which shows past time. Roman 7. When did you meet your friend last time? I met him 2 years ago. I met her 2 days ago. Dear students, the addition of ed after a verb and the uses of common adverbs such as yesterday, last, previous, and ago indicate past events or activities. Now, we will be in a good position to answer our questions that what are past events? Past events are activities that happened in the time before present, the past activities. And also, it will be also easy to answer the second question, that how do we state past events? We can state past events by addition of ed or d in irregular verbs and the uses of common adverbs such as yesterday, previous, last, and ago. And other verbs, dear students, after we have seen the introduction of what past activities and how do we state past activities, let us now see indicators which will tell us this past activity or past events. We have these 4 indicators of past events or past activities. The following are some indicators of past events or activities. This includes looking at the form of a verb. Second, using common adverbs. Third, question tags. Fourth, WH questions. Dear students, let's start with the first one, which is looking at the form of a verb. As we know, we have 2 forms of verbs. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Before someone be in the position to say whether this is past events or not, the first thing to see whether this verb is irregular verb or regular verb. For this case now, let's start with regular verbs. Regular verbs are the ones that conform to the usual rule of forming its simple past tense. In the English language, the usual rule is to add ed or d to the base form of the verb to create past tense. We have some examples here of regular verbs which conform to the rule of adding ed or d before the base form of a verb. For example, the verb kick. Now when it's added with ed, it forms kicked. Dance, danced. Jump, jumped. Play, played. Accept, accepted. Add, added. Admire, admired. Admit, admitted. Advise, advised. Afford, afforded. Agree, agreed. In the agree, we have just added only d because the verb ends with the 2. vowel sounds. Allow, allowed. Dear students, after we have seen the verbs and how they do change to their simple past tense, now let's see these pairs of sentences, how these words can be used in the sentence. Study the following pairs of sentences. First pair. A. Let us walk around the block. B. We walked around the block. That this simple present, this simple past. Move the chair over there, please. B. Michael moved the chair over there. Again, work on your homework before dinner. Past tense, Sarah worked on her homework before dinner. Another pair. To score points, you have to kick the ball over the goal post. James kicked the ball over the goal post and scored points for his team. And the last example, we always arrive home before dark. That is simple present. Then past, we arrived home before dark. Dear students, we are through with regular verbs. As I've stated earlier, that regular verbs allow to take ed inflection after the verb to form the past activity or past tense. Now let's go and see past tense of irregular verbs. As I've said, irregular verbs are common verbs in English language that do not follow the simple system of adding ed or d before the verb. They always take their own form. They have their own pattern, as we see here on the screen. We have drink, drank, spring, sprang, know, knew, blew, arise, arose, awake, awoke, be, was, or were, plural, become, became, begin, began, blow, blew, break, broke. Let us see how irregular verbs appear in various sentences. First group. Please come to the part. Simple present. Come. My best friends came to the part. Simple past. Second group. Catch the ball. Then catch is a verb. It will change to be I caught the ball. Another one. Draw a picture, Steve. Verb draw. Simple past. Steve drew a picture for Mary. Let us eat. We ate too late. The verb here is eat. It changes to ate. Go home now. The verb is go. Larry went home. The verb is went. Changes from go to went. Dear students, we are through with irregular verbs. As we have seen, irregular verbs take their own patterns, take their own forms. They do not take ed inflection or d particle after the base of a word. Rather, they take their own form. Each verb changes in its own pattern. Now, let's go to another indicator which tells us about past activities or events. We are going to discuss the second indicator, which is using common adverbs. These are types of adverbs which show that the action was done and completed. The action was done and completed. These adverbs include yesterday, last, ago, and previous. Let's start with last. Roman 1. My brother got married last Friday. It means the last Friday. Maybe if today is Tuesday, it means the last Friday before another Friday. Therefore, it's past activity or past event. Roman 2. Last week, she wrote a letter to her brother. When we are talking about last week, if it is this week, it means the week before this week. Therefore, that is the last week. Roman 3. The school was closed last week. Also, the word last tells us about which week, not this one, the past one. We visited our grandmother last year. We visited our grandmother last year. Which year? The past year. She promised me last time. Although it is not indicated exactly when, but last time, not today, past days. Dear students, we continue talking about common adverbs of time, which indicate past events or activities. Now, after finishing talking about last, it is your time now, students, to try to construct your own sentences using the adverb past. While continue doing that, let's continue with another example of common adverb of time, which is yesterday. Roman 1. I saw him yesterday. Yesterday is a day before today. Yesterday, I went to visit my brother. It was announced yesterday clearly. It was announced yesterday clearly. Maybe students are discussing about something. One says, I don't know about this thing. Now, another student tells him or her that it was announced yesterday. Where were you? Another one, they played football yesterday. They have played football yesterday. He left for Arusha yesterday. Another example that they met yesterday. And I talked to her yesterday. And lastly, he paid the rent yesterday. Also, the term yesterday or the adverb yesterday tells us about the past activity. Now, let's discuss another adverb of time which shows past activities or past events. This is ago. I met him 10 years ago. Ago means past. The accident happened long ago. I saw him a while ago. I read the book some time ago. And then we have another example that the robbery occurred about a week ago. Now the word ago tells us about the past activity or past event. It took place years ago. And the last example that I finished the project 2 days ago. Dear students, now you can just have time to have your own sentences to exercise on how to construct various sentences using the word ago to show past events. And we have another adverb of time, which is previous. Let us see these sentences on the screen. The first one, I was paid well on my previous job. It means the speaker, the time he or she is speaking, she or he is no longer in that past job. He is somewhere else in a new job. That's why he or she is saying, I was paid well. Where? On my previous job. Second, I had lost a camera the previous day. Another one, I met him on the previous days. Now, previous days is not specifically indicated how many days, but the past days. Roman 4, in the previous years, parents used to teach their children at home. It means in past days, parents used to teach their kids or children at home. It means nowadays they are not doing that. Roman 5. The previous Tanzania president built National Stadium. When we are talking about the previous, it means the past one, not the recent president. Roman 6. The previous 2 days were devoted to orientation at the school. It means after they opened or reopened the school, the first 2 days were just offered for orientation. Roman 7. She experienced this problem from the previous events. Dear students, we are through with the adverb previous. Try to construct your own sentences using the adverb of time previous. Dear students, let's go to another adverb of time, which is last time. Roman 1, last time I saw him there. Last time I saw him there. It means that person is no longer there anymore. Roman 2, they played football last time. Maybe today they are playing something else, but last time they played football. Last time we went to Paris, it rained very much. This means the person who is speaking or the speaker, he is no longer in Paris. He went or he visited Paris and he is back. Roman 4. I taught him the techniques last time. He managed to win. This shows that the trainer is speaking about training. He trained his student last time and he won. Last, it wasn't as good as last time. It means something is good, but when you compare that thing with the last time, it's not as good as last time. Dear students, we are through with the first 2 indicators of past events or activities. Now let's go to the third one. This is question tags. Tag questions are those short questions that are tagged onto the end of a sentence. They also help us to know that these past activities. Roman 1. John scored a goal, didn't he? This is the question tag. Did it is the past form of do. Therefore, it helps us to know that the action of scoring the goal is the past event. Roman 2. Their dogs barked all night, didn't they? We have the action or the activity of barking, but we need to know at what time. It will be easy for us to know because there is a word didn't, that which is the past form of do. The word did not, in the past form. Kate didn't take out rubbish bin, did she? As you see, this did in the past form. Therefore, it will be easy for us to tell whether the action of taking out the rubbish bin, whether it's past event or not. Another one, the girls didn't copy on the exam, did they? Yeah, it also indicates the past form, of which it will be easy for us to know that the action or the event or the activity of copying is the past event. Another one, you went to school today, didn't you? Also, the action or the activity of going to school, it will be easy to know that it's past because of question tag. She worked hard today, didn't she? And the last one, he didn't pass his exam, did he? Dear students, after we have seen how question tags help us to understand various activities or events that are of past tense, now try to construct your own question tags and also try to go through various question tags and you see how they can help you to understand different activities that of the past tense. Dear students, let's go to the last indicator of past events or activities. This is WH questions. These are questions that start with WH, always signal for past activities. For example, what did you do yesterday? What means WH? We call them WH questions because they start with WH. What did you do yesterday? I met my friends at the park. What did you have for dinner? What again? WH. We had fried chicken and potato chips. Where did you go after school? I went to the supermarket. Where? WH. Who did you give that book to? Who? WH. I gave it to my friend. What movie did you see? We saw The Happy Student. Dear students, after we have seen various indicators of past events or activities, let us do some activities. But now let's start with activity 1. We have the passage. We are going to read the passage, and later on we are going to answer the questions that follow. It reads, read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. My holiday. The school was closed for the holidays on 20th June, and I was both excited and nervous. I was happy to meet my parents, siblings, and friends. So I called my brother to tell him that I will be leaving for home Saturday morning. The journey home went safely, and I saw some beautiful landscapes like valleys, mountains, and plains. We arrived in Dar es Salaam city at 2 p.m. and found all my family members waiting for me at the bus station. I was excited to meet them. I didn't expect this. During holidays, I did many activities such as going to the market, watering the garden, washing dishes, and visiting friends. I really enjoyed my time at home. Dear students, we have some questions here. Number 1. When did the school close? It is written that the school closed on 20th June. The second one, where was the student picked up? The student was picked up at the bus station. Number 3, what did he see on the way back home? It is written that he saw various landscapes like mountains, valleys, and the plains. Roman 4, at what time did he reach in the city? It is written that he reached in the city at 2 p.m. Number 5, what activities did this student perform during holiday? It is written that he watered the garden, he went to the market, and he visited his friends. Dear students, we are through with activity 1. Let's go to do activity 2. In activity 2, it reads, complete the following sentences by changing the verb in brackets into the simple past tense. Roman 1. Last week, they dashed the school. The verb is open. In past form, the word open is regular. Therefore, it takes ed as past form. Therefore, it will read, last week, they opened the school. Roman 2. My sister got dash last month. The verb is mar. When we have a verb like this with end with y, we add I, then followed by ed. For that case, it will read, my sister got married last month. Therefore, will be red. Roman 3. When his father dash here the news of the death of his son, he dash bitterly. We have two verbs. The first one is here. The second one is weep. Therefore, this one is regular verb and this one is irregular verb. But also, if you have the verb of this kind which ends with the R, we add only D. And this is irregular verb, it will take its own form. Therefore, it will be wept, and this is heard. When his father heard the news of the death of his son, he wept bitterly. Roman 4. The policeman dash arrive in the bracket at the bank and dash in the bracket catch the robbers as they were leaving. Again, here we have two verbs. The first one is regular verb arrive and one is irregular verb catch. Therefore, this one we add only D because the verb ends with silence E, and that is takes only form code. Roman 5. Mrs. Mapunda dash in the bracket wait at the bus stop, but the buses dash go past because they were full. Again, we have two verbs. The first one is regular verb wait, and another one is irregular verb go. Therefore, this will take the form of ed, waited, and this one will take its own pattern, went, waited, and went. It dash rain in bracket for 3 days, and the river dash flood in bracket the village. We have two verbs. Both of the two verbs are regular verbs. Therefore, this rained and flooded. Roman 7. They, in the bracket, eat all oranges. Therefore, this one is irregular verb. Roman 8. He collect in bracket his children from school. This is just a regular verb. It allows the addition of ed. Therefore, he collected his children from school. I never, in bracket, imagine I would see you here. This is a regular verb, but because it ends with silent E, it takes only D. Therefore, it will read, I never imagined I would see you here. Let's go to Roman 10. I dash in the bracket walk on foot for 2 hours. Now, walk is regular. It takes the form of ed. Therefore, it will read, I walked on foot for 2 hours. Dear students, we are through with activity 2. Now, let's continue with activity 3. Activity 3, as in activity 2, we are going to change the verbs into simple past to show past events or activities. Rewrite the sentences into simple past tense. Roman 1. We grow this tree from a seed. The verb here is grow, and it is irregular. Therefore, it will change from grow to grew. Therefore, we grew this tree from a seed. Roman 2. Mandy cooks the lunch. The verb here is cooks. This is regular. It allows the addition of ed. Therefore, it will be Mandy cooked the lunch. Roman 3. Frank fishes next to the lake. The verb here is fish. Now we are going to add only D because of it ends with silent E. Therefore, it will be Frank fished next to the lake. Roman 4. James kicks the ball strongly. The verb is kick. And the verb kick takes ed particle or the ed inflection. It will be now, James kicked the ball strongly. Roman 5. She dreams about flying. The verb is dream. This verb can take ed to be regular or can be irregular. If it becomes regular, it will be dreamed. Therefore, she dreamed about flying. Or if it is irregular, it will be she dreamed about flying. Therefore, it can take both forms. Roman 6. Mrs. Brown irons the clothes. The verb is iron. And then it takes ed particle. Mrs. Brown ironed the clothes. Roman 7. She laughs at something. Laugh is a verb. and also it takes ed. Now to read, she laughed at something. Roman 8, he thinks I steal his umbrella. We have two verbs here. We have think and steal. Therefore, this one is, both of them are irregular verbs. Therefore, it will be, he thought I stole his umbrella. Roman 8, she loses her way home. This also is irregular verb. It will read now, she lost her way home. And lastly, Mary lives at Mabibo Jeshin. This is irregular verb, and we add only D because of silent E. It will be, Mary lived at Mabibo Jeshin. Activity 4. Rewrite the following sentences into simple past tense. He is my friend. We have only auxiliary verb here is, therefore he was my friend. Roman 2, I am a man. The verb here is am, verb to be. Therefore, it will read, I was a man. Roman 3, that is a bird. Is to be past, it will be was. Therefore, that was a bird. Roman 4, this is a kitchen. It will change to be, this was a kitchen. Roman 5, they are happy people. It will be, they were happy people. Roman 6, this is a boy who plays well. It will be, this was a boy who played well. Roman 7, we are running to escape a war. We have a auxiliary verb and the main verb. We are going to use only the main verb. We ran to escape a war. They are doing practical science. The same, we are going to use only the main verb, that they did practical science. She is the one who writes on the board. It will be, she was the one who wrote on the board. This is irregular verb. Lastly, to this activity 4, I am good in mathematics. I was good in mathematics. Dear students, we have activity 5, which you have the table and we have columns. We are going to construct some sentences using the words in the table. And we have the boundary here that these words, they do not share except this part. For example, I was at home last week. Or she wasn't at school yesterday. Or it can be, it was in Dar es Salaam last week. It can be also, we were at home last week. Or they were not on holiday last week. It can be also, you were not in Dar es Salaam yesterday. Or it can be, you were not at school last week. Simple like that. You can just construct the sentences, but mind that this is the boundary here. The two groups, they do share only from this partition to that part. We have the last assignment here about the paragraph, and the verbs will be there in the brackets. Therefore, you read the paragraph and you change the words or verbs in the brackets to suit simple past tense. This is the very short paragraph. Last year, I, in the bracket, my holiday at Arusha, spent. Therefore, you change this to simple past. Last year, I spent my holiday at Arusha. I, verb to be, great. It, verb to be, great. Therefore, because it singular, it will be it was great. I, in bracket, travel around by car with 2 friends, and we, in bracket, visit various interesting places. Therefore, this is regular form, regular verb. I traveled around by car with 2 friends, and we visited various interesting places. In the evenings, we usually, in bracket, go. Go is irregular. Therefore, we usually went to a traditional club called the Maasai Camp. One night, we even, in bracket, learned some Maasai dances. Therefore, we even learned some Maasai dances. We, verb to be, very lucky with weather. Because we is plural, therefore this will be we were very lucky. Lastly, it not rain a lot. Therefore, it didn't rain a lot. But we saw, bracket you see, we saw some beautiful rainbows. This is how we can change the verbs in the brackets to suit simple present tense or to state past activities or past events. Dear students, today we are talking about past events or past activities. And our subtopic was all about expressing past events or past activities. We have learned how we can describe, how we can show past events or activities. We have demonstrated different examples that show past events. Reaching here, we have come to the end of our lesson. It is my hope that you have enjoyed the lesson. See you next time. Bye.